Get ready for action, because Harry Kane is speaking out after the Champions League exit. The star player reflects on the tough loss against Paris Saint-Germain and shares his thoughts on what's next for Bayern Munich. We break down everything you need to know about Kane's perspective following that dramatic semifinal defeat.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Joshua Kimmich and Jonathan Tah are sticking together after the Champions League disappointment. Hear directly from Joshua Kimmich as he explains why he isn't blaming the referee and shares his belief that the team still has the potential to win the Champions League. Plus, Jonathan Tah shares his take on the performance and the close nature of those games. But the frustration isn't just about the result. Konrad Laimer is furious about the refereeing decisions in the Champions League match. Laimer details his bewilderment over the strange calls against PSG, especially concerning Nuno Mendes, and discusses how those small details could have changed the entire game. And finally, we shift focus to the Bundesliga. We dive into the analysis from Super Schick, examining the form of Bayer Leverkusen's center forward, Patrik Schick, heading into the final match days of the 2025-26 season. Don't miss this deep dive, and stay with us for more breaking news. Bayern Munich's pursuit of a Champions League treble ended in disappointment on Wednesday following a 1-1 draw against Paris Saint-Germain, a result that saw the German Giants lose the semifinal tie on aggregate with a score of 6-5. Following the match, star striker Harry Kane offered a candid reflection on the exit during an interview with Sky Germany. Kane acknowledged the difficulty of the defeat, stating, "It's tough. We had enough chances today to reach the final," noting that he scored Bayern's sole goal in injury time. With the Bundesliga title already secured, Kane has shifted his attention to the domestic cup competition, setting his sights on the DFB Pokal final against VfB Stuttgart scheduled for May 23rd, expressing ambition to secure the double. Looking ahead to the Champions League final, where Paris Saint-Germain will face Arsenal, Kane assessed the match dynamics, suggesting that the French side holds a slight advantage. He commented, "PSG are the slight favorites in the final." Following a disappointing night that ended Bayern Munich's Champions League aspirations, key figures Joshua Kimmich and Jonathan Tah have expressed resilience and maintained a positive outlook despite the elimination. Speaking with Sky Germany, Kimmich focused the discussion on the team's performance rather than the officiating. He acknowledged errors in crucial moments, stating, "I want to talk about our own performance, not the referee. We made too many mistakes in the decisive moments." However, Kimmich firmly stated his belief in the squad's potential, adding, "But I don't think that will derail us. I still believe this team can win the Champions League. Unfortunately, not this year." Jonathan Tah mirrored this optimistic sentiment, adopting a glass-half-full perspective regarding the loss. The defender expressed pride in the team's effort, noting that both matches were tightly contested. Tah commented on the game flow, saying, "Both games were very close. They were different games, but in the end, they prevailed. Paris scored the early goal and then defended well." He admitted a missed opportunity, adding, "If we had scored our goal a little earlier, we would have been in a better position. Unfortunately, we didn't create that many chances in attack." Concluding his remarks, Tah emphasized adaptability, asserting, "It's obviously very disappointing, but to be successful, you have to be able to handle different situations. I think we can be proud of the way we performed." Konrad Laimer expressed significant frustration following Bayern Munich's exit from the Champions League, focusing heavily on controversial refereeing decisions during the match against PSG. Laimer specifically questioned the decision not to send Nuno Mendes off for a second bookable offense in the first half. "You don't feel it during the game itself. I thought I had played the ball with my stomach, and then Mendes with his hand. The referee whistled for handball 5 seconds later." "That's really strange," Laimer told DAZN, highlighting the discrepancy between his perception of the play and the official's call. The Austrian was also mystified by the referee's decision to award PSG a free kick, which Laimer believed was incorrectly called as a handball against himself, noting that replays contradicted this assessment. He questioned the intervention of the fourth official, stating, "Since when does the fourth official intervene in the game? I've never experienced that before." Laimer stressed that while he could not alter the decisions, they represented a potentially decisive moment for his team. Despite the 1-1 draw and a 6-5 aggregate defeat, Laimer maintained that his team was not inferior, attributing the loss to misfortune rather than a lack of quality. "In games like these, it comes down to a few small details. I always felt we could turn things around, but today it wasn't enough," he stated. Laimer suggested that a slightly earlier goal could have reignited the atmosphere and potentially altered the outcome, concluding that the result hinged on these minor details. Bayer Leverkusen's center forward, Patrik Schick, is being hailed as the Bundesliga's form striker as the team heads into the final 2 match days of the 2025-26 season. Analysis from Bundesliga.com suggests Schick is in excellent form as the season nears its conclusion.